Welcome to The Dish. I'm Jalen Russell here with my colleague Jalen Gray, giving you the latest stories from the NBA this week. I think Jalen's completely delusional. He thinks the Thunder are going to make the playoffs. They're 24-24 right now. They're 14-8 when KD and Westbrook are playing together. I don't think that they can make it. They're not playing good basketball.
It's really not that far of a stretch. They have time. It's only midway through the season. They're only 4 games back, and we haven't seen their best basketball. Whereas with Phoenix and New Orleans, who are also in the hunt for the 8th seed, we've pretty much seen as good as they're going to be.
Right, but they don't have a lot of time to become that good basketball team that you're talking about. They only have 34 games left. They need to win at least 26 of those to get 50 wins, and probably you're going to need 50 wins to get the 8th seed this year in the West. And 19 of those games are against playoff teams, so I don't think their strength of schedule is just too hard for them to get those wins.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because New Orleans and Phoenix pretty much have the same strength of schedule throughout the remainder of the season. And with KD and Westbrook at full strength, I just think they're a more talented team. They can win more of those games.
Talent or not, that's going to be a tough challenge for them to win 26 of their last 34. But we'll have to check that out at the end of the year. Moving on, Portland in their last 10 games is 2-8, and they're the 4th seed currently in the West. The 4th seed in the East is Chicago. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games. Who's struggling more?
I think it's the Chicago Bulls because they're struggling with their identity. They're a defensive team since Tom Thibodeau has been there, and they're struggling on the defensive end. They've gone from, 2nd to 13th in defensive rating over the past year, and now they're in the bottom half, 18th in points allowed.
Yeah, but the Blazers are also struggling with their identity right now. They've always been a scoring team, always an offensive team, and Lillard and Batum have always been two of the guys that have carried them on the offensive side. But in the last 10 games, they're shooting 32.3% from the field on 266 shots, which is just unacceptable if they're going to be your main output guys on a night-in, night-out basis.
Yeah, guys have bad stretches of shooting, but with the Bulls, it's more of a chemistry issue. You have Joakim Noah, who's playing power forward on the defensive end, so now he has to go out and guard stretch fours when he's used to banging down low with the big guys.
That's a mismatch.
And then we have D. Rose, who we know is a man of very few words, who voiced his frustration in an interview where he said that they just weren't on the same page and weren't communicating on defense.
That's worrisome, but at least when you have Derrick Rose coming out, people are going to take notice and they're going to change themselves to try to work together better as a team. But the Blazers' problems are more than just something that they can control. They also have health issues right now. Aldridge's thumb could take him out for anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks at any time throughout the rest of the season since he decided not to get surgery on it already. And Robin Lopez hasn't played a game since mid-December. So when you've got your 2 big men who are kind of just ticking time bombs at this point, who can go out at any time for a long stretch of time, and Lillard and Batum are not shooting well, I don't know how they're going to get wins for the rest of the season.
We'll have to see.
Yeah. That's all we have for you on The Dish this week. I'm Jalen Russell. He's Jalen Gray. Have a good week.